Hello and good morning, or good afternoon, depending on what time you might be viewing this video. But if you're watching live, good morning and welcome to the Unity Center of Pittsburgh. It's our celebration service and we're always delighted to be here with you. Today is July 2nd and we're embarking on that holiday weekend, or have already started the celebrations of Independence Day. So if you're celebrating, we hope you have a great weekend with family and friends, and a safe one too at that. For those who are new to Unity, Unity is a new thought empowering metaphysical understanding of Christianity and the practice of Christianity and the life of Jesus. Unity is from another branch of New Thought, and there are other similar practices, but what's distinct with Unity is that we really look to follow the teachings and the understanding of the Master Jesus, who became the Christ, and see Jesus as a divine perfection of man, not an exception, but a way shower and an example for all of us. Here at Unity, we envision a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. Say that with me. We envision a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. And our mission is to continue to create and grow a loving, inclusive community dedicated to teach, inspire, and practice positive spiritual living. Today we have Jet Downey here for our music, our vocals, and our keyboards, and Maryann Hackworth will be presenting our message, "The Truth Shall Set You Free." And now we do have a song. Would you like to introduce it, Jet?
This is called "We Are Holy, Holy, Holy." And if you're in the sanctuary, you're welcome to stand if you'd like to. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, come to me. Healing love, healing me. Open my heart, open my heart. Allow me to see beauty and love. Live in me. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Spirit, Spirit divine, come to me. Feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, open my heart. Allow me to see beauty and love. Live in me. I am holy, holy, holy. Each of us, I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. You are whole. We are whole. I am whole.
Thank you, Jet. Thank you, everyone. Great vocals all around. You've lifted the vibration, and with that energy of awareness of who we are, holy beings, one with God. Let us open our hearts even further to receive that presence of pure being within us and all around about us as we pray. Divine Creator, we open our hearts and we feel your presence. We are guided by your love as we receive your light. We give thanks for this day and the many, many gifts of life and the opportunity to live, to grow, and to ignite the freedoms, the love, the awakening of all mankind. We have awakened to the truth of who we are as a divine creation of that one loving God. We express your joy, your wisdom through our compassionate hearts, our hearts of love and peace, touching all of humanity in your presence. I am, we are, and so it is. Now we will light our unity candle, which we also call the Christ candle, because it's that recognition aware and had to bring this energy to light too, of that God, that love, that creative force within us. And I'm finding some matches that don't really have, there we go, okay. It's a little damp today because it's raining here in Pittsburgh if you're watching from somewhere else. So we light this candle and recognize the light of God that we just affirmed in our prayer that shines through us, and know that no matter what's going on in our lives, in our country, or in this world, we know that light of God is within each and every individual, and we affirm that awakening and that expression throughout the world and within our hearts. Okay. And together, let us now recite our unity principles as we're reminded not only of our beliefs here at Unity, but also that which we affirm and bring to fruition in our lives each and every day. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We breathe our way of experience through our way of thinking. Through the prayer, meditation, we increase our conscious contact with God, bringing forth love, wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good. Knowledge of these principles is not enough. We must live them. Indeed we do. So now we're going to have our daily word, and if you're not familiar, the daily word is a prayerful guide published by Unity. We have a song. I thought the song was next, after. Well, we can sing now. Would you like to sing a prayer of St. Francis now? Sure. Okay, let's do it. All right, let's have a song, the prayer of St. Francis. Perfect.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. O Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving amen that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life.
Beautiful energy. As we turn to the daily word, a message of guidance. The affirmation today and the message is, I seek, trust, and follow my guidance. Let's say that together. I seek, trust, and follow my guidance. Let's say that again. I seek, trust, and follow my guidance. Seeking divine guidance means turning out information and opinions and turning inward. Oh, great advice. Then with an open heart and a quiet mind, I can better feel the nudge of my intuition, my inner voice. I receive divine guidance much in the way flowers in the field soak up sunshine. Just as following the sun is innate for them, I have the instinct to trust my inner knowing. Even if my guidance surprises me, I trust it. I trust it to lead me on the path to my highest good. I follow where I feel called to go. I follow where I feel called to go. Important message there. I heed that still small voice within, and I pay particular attention to the serendipitous circumstances I find along the way. For that creates that awareness within me that God is alive and present everywhere in my life and leading me. And I see that light within you and along my path. Just have to pay attention and trust. And I have a little anecdote that I'm going to share with you because this is the perfect time. So last Saturday, every Saturday morning, I have a rescue I do for 412 Food Rescue. It's a volunteer organization, great organization, 412foodrescue.org. If you want to check it out, they always need volunteers. But I have a pickup, so I go to a grocery store, I pick up food that is going to turn or in the place of people won't buy it, they'll pick a different cantaloupe, if you will. So we gather up all this food and we take it to the free store. I take it to the free store, but my wife and I, she helps me load all the boxes in the car. It's pretty heavy. So when I was gathering in the back of the warehouse, I was gathering these boxes and I'm putting them on this metal cart and I pull it through the back of the store. And a box fell over Strawberries and grape tomatoes, big box, all over the place, right? So there I am on my hands and knees picking them up and, thinking a few things as I pick them up and deciding, should I keep these, should I throw them away? And so anyway, put them all back together because you should wash your fruit and vegetables before you eat them anyway. And there are people who are hungry. So I figured it was fine. That was my decision. Put it back on my cart, picked up all the other produce boxes, and I was rounding a corner. That box fell again. Fortunately, nothing opened up that time. And as I was making my way, and it's always very crowded in the back of these stores, all the inventory and produce and whatnot is there. And as I was coming around another corner, I bumped it and I caught it before it fell yet another time. So I said, okay, Spirit, I hear you. Things are falling off of my cart. This has never happened before, and I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm going to pay attention. Thanks for the message. And I even told Allison, my wife, that the boxes kept falling. I got to be aware today. I got to be careful in my driving. I got to pay attention. So later on that day, I'm on my treadmill because it was raining and I wanted to get some exercise. And I have a cat, Larry. And I had the treadmill raised to make it a hill, and I'm working out. And Larry keeps trying to dart underneath the treadmill. Not a good idea, right? So like I've done 1,000 times before, I step off the treadmill to jump down, get Larry, distract him, and then get back on. As I was getting off, I fell on the treadmill. Well, naturally, it keeps going. So I'm on the treadmill, and behind me is a wall, so I couldn't just step off of it. So I'm on the treadmill on all fours, and it keeps going. And through my pants, you can't see because, and I'm not going to show you, I have these track lines down my knees and down my shins from the treadmill. And I thought, I couldn't be upset other than with myself because I had been told by Spirit and warned of a fall. There was the guidance 3 times. We have to listen. We have to trust, which I did. But then we have to incorporate the message into aspects of our lives, particularly that day when you have this very clear message that a fall was in my aura that day, apparently. So I tell you that because Spirit does communicate to us. We have to listen, we have to receive, right? And then we have to do something about it. So just a little message for you. Follow the guidance and shut off your treadmill before you get off. Just had to tell you that because it's just so apropos to the message today. Okay, moving right along. I hope that there's a reason why I went into all that. Somebody here needed to hear that or out there, or maybe all of us did. So I trust in that. So now let's go on from our daily word to our prayerful intentions. And we're going to do that in conjunction with the song, I Send My Love, that Jet's going to lead us in. Go ahead, Jet.
Can't find my note.
That sounds good.
I send my love. Okay. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love
they all be protected, healthy, loved, and nourished in body, mind, and spirit. And with this energy of love and this energy of joy, we give thanks, gratitude for our lives and the people within our lives. We see those people, those family members, those friends, and recognize the big human family beyond our families, our personal families, and we send them light and healing and love, and bring their intentions, their prayers of need into ours, for we are one. We are one in divine mind. We are one in God's heart that beats in each and every one of us. We send that light of love as we open our hearts and project out into the world, touching all of those in needs, those who are in hospitals, those who are in hospice making their transitions, those who are fighting in the trenches, those who are seeking guidance and help for emotional and mental discord. And we send light and the power of truth and honesty to pervade the thinking of our leaders and all people, so that we may be guided as one nation, one world, one universe, under that creative spirit we call God. And so it is.
I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me.
Turn within even further as we go to our meditation. This is our time to connect and listen for that presence of God, that eternal light of love, wholeness, peace, joy, heals all things. And now, if you will, for those who are willing to participate, put your right hand over your heart and hold your left hand just up. And feel that peace of God, that Christ consciousness in the center of your being, behind your heart, behind your diaphragm, pounding within you, bringing that breath of life and the functioning of that body to life. And feel that love of God through you, flowing to you, transforming you and healing. Let us open now our minds and our thoughts to forgiveness. We all have transgressions we've made in our lives, and errant thinking and actions that we've taken in a course of emotion or imbalance. And together let us pray as we perhaps get an image of someone in our mind's eye that we'd like to ask them to forgive us, or perhaps forgive yourself for the judgments and the harshness that you may create within your own thoughts. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And with this energy of peace and the presence of St. Francis and all the saints and healing angels, I leave you for a moment, one with your God, one with your light, in meditation. And so it is. As you bring yourself back, feel the chair beneath you and hold on to that peace that you have experienced, that forgiveness that you have offered. And may peace and light guide you in all of your days. And so it is. And now we will have a special song offered by Jet titled Blessed We Are.
On this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound, say a prayer for the earth and the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Say a prayer for all life and the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Say a prayer for the earth and the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Say a prayer for all life and the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember
was amazing. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. We have such talented musicians and vocalists, and it's just another way we're blessed, isn't it? We're so lucky, so fortunate. And if you're inspired by our service, and I'm particularly talking to those who are watching online and maybe don't typically come to a service, but we hope that you're inspired. And if you are feeling uplifted, if you are being fed by not only our music and our prayer, but our message you're about to receive, we just remind you that we rely on donations to support our spiritual ministry, our community, so that we can continue to bring forth this energy of love and light to you. So we thank you for that. And with that idea, let us now turn our hearts and minds to Maryann Hackworth, who is going to present our message today, which is titled, "The Truth Shall Make You Free."
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be here with you all, to see your shining faces. Some of you I haven't seen in a while, and I am just grateful to hear Jet's amazing chant. That was absolutely beautiful, Jet. Thank you. Thank you. I had chills. And I wanted to talk to you today. I want to thank Marika, if she's watching, for this beautiful, wide open space of the truth, that image of freedom, right? Freedom, the wide open road right in front of us. And today, I guess it's in honor of Independence Day. Independence, to me, brings forth spiritual ideals versus political ideals. I always think of independence as being the ability to make choices, the ability to be free of false beliefs. And that is really what this message is going to be all about. The truth shall set you free. That's the title for this talk. And I'd like you to, as I speak this morning, to consider what is your truth. Just have that be an underlying thought in your mind, in your consciousness. What is my truth? So I want to tell you the impetus for this message. It always comes in unusual ways, right? We were talking to my daughter-in-law. My son and my daughter-in-law are expecting their first child in October. So we're going to be welcoming a new little baby granddaughter. And she and I were chatting about doctor's appointments and reminiscing. I was reminiscing of my very first doctor's appointment back in 1988. And I was expecting our daughter, which was a great blessing. But I went to the first doctor's appointment extremely nervous, as many mothers would be, as many women would be. And I was anxious and I was nervous. I was excited, but I was afraid. I was afraid because I knew that my body would be going through changes. Not only that, my whole life would be upended and changed. I'd never be the same again. The future was the great unknown, and I was nervous and anxious. And so I went to the doctor's appointment, and I decided to open up about that and tell my doctor how nervous I was and anxious and how would it all transpire and the pain factor and all of these things, all these questions, unanswered questions. Dr. Edward Austin, I'll never forget, an older gentleman, wasn't quite the warm and fuzzy guy that I would have enjoyed maybe in that moment. He looked me in the eye directly. He said, "Maryann, women have been doing this since the beginning of time. You'll be fine." And I thought, okay, thank you, I think, right? And I finished the appointment, and I must say I was a little disappointed. You know, maybe I expected a hand on the shoulder, a little tap on my hand. "Don't worry, I'm always here for you, Maryann." No, he stated a fact. Women have been doing this since the beginning of time. And you know, that thought, I started to ruminate on that thought. And I was picturing in my consciousness, in my mind, women in caves, right? Thousands of years ago, with nothing but a fire and animal skins to stay warm, and trying to figure out maybe they don't have someone surrounding them as I do. I was picturing women on the desert plains in extreme conditions of heat, in extreme conditions of cold. I was picturing women crossing over the ocean in ships and maybe expecting a few-week trip, and it turns into months, delivering babies. You know it happened. Women in covered wagons, and women in tents, women without any covering at all. And yet, here we are. Propagation had occurred, and I could witness it because we exist, and he was absolutely right. Women have been doing it since the beginning of time, and in that moment, I felt freedom. I somehow was uplifted, because when a truth statement happens to us, no matter how it arrives, sometimes it's really direct and sometimes it comes in warm, comforting words, but yet something about it resonates. And I thought, he's right. I can do this too. I have doctors and sonograms and nutrition and vitamins. I have tools. And that's where I started realizing the spiritual message in this, that when we receive the truth, we too are free. We can uplift our own minds out of that worry and despair and anxiety, which we often fall into. We've heard this in our message today, in our beautiful daily word, that we can be in darkness, right? Until we hear a prompting and we come out of that fear, because truth has spoken to us. And I'm reminded, and I went into this expression, the truth shall make you free. The truth shall set you free. I thought, where did that arise? So I Google it, right? Of course it was Jesus' teaching. It's been re-brought forth through other teachers, but it was Jesus who looked to his disciples, his Jews that believed in him, who believed his teaching. It's in John 8:32, if you'd like to look it up. He said, "If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." So let's look at that for a minute. Metaphysically, let's study what he just said. If you continue in my word, what is the word? What does that mean to you, the word? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. The Word, what does that mean? If you continue in my word, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Well, Charles Fillmore, our co-founder of Unity, he wrote a book called The Revealing Word. So if you look up the word, he said it this way: the agency by which God reveals himself is the Word. The agency by which God speaks to each and every one of us. That intuitive prompting that Patti was talking about, that little inner guidance, the Word comes in through our mind, through our consciousness. When we know something to be our truth, it is the Word expressing it to us. Charles Fillmore said, "The thought of God, or the sum total of God's creative power, is the Word. The energy and the self-revelation of God, is the Word. It's revealing itself in us. God is the essence of who we are. It's our truth. And God is revealing itself through the Word." And I love this because in one way it makes me feel empowered and free. And it makes me also realize that I can tap into it. And I can listen for this word, this inner knowing, right? And also, it helps me to know that everyone hears the word. Everyone has access to this word. We We aren't arrogant about the truth that we know, like, I got it, you don't, too bad. I know the truth, too bad for that group or that sorry individual over there who doesn't know the truth. No, you cannot feel arrogance when you realize that this word is self-revealing God. And so every human being, every soul that ever has walked on this planet has access to truth. Isn't that empowering? Doesn't that somehow lift us out of our fear, our anger, or judgments, which we get trapped in? So let me go back to Jesus, his next statement that he said. He said, well, his followers said first, they were in doubt, and they said, the truth will make you free? They're listening, and they said, we are descendants of Abraham. We have never been slaves to anyone. What do you mean by saying you will be made free? What are you talking about that we'll be free? We're not slaves. And he said, very truly, I tell you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not have a permanent place in the household. Remember that Jesus used metaphors, and a metaphor is something that you need to explore deeply, even now. This statement, very truly I tell you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. Sin is our error thinking. Sin is any thought that separates us from our God self, from the Word. Sin is the mistakes that we make when we think we're unworthy or unlovable. Sin is the idea that God exists somewhere outside of us and doesn't live in our own heart and mind. Sin is error thought. And he said, anyone who commits sin will be a slave to the sin. Because why? What is a slave? Will be held in bondage, will be trapped under the error thought. Remember how he often said to people, go and sin no more. Let go of that false idea of who you are. Sin no more. Align yourself with truth, and the word will be revealed to you. And guess what? You will be free. You will not be a slave. We understand that metaphysically, the thoughts that we hold in mind are likened to other thoughts, to events we create through the power of our thinking. If our thoughts are in error, it is highly likely that we will create more of same, and we will be enslaved to it. What does slavery mean? It means to be trapped and held in bondage against our will. He went on to say, the Son has a place there forever. So he had said that the slave does not have a permanent place in the household. A permanent place in the household. What is the household? I mean, what does that conjure up in your mind when you think of a household? Do you think of belonging? Do you think of safety, family, community? What is a household? Perhaps it's the kingdom within you, the place or the realm in consciousness where you belong. You're a part of the household, the Father. You are the son and daughter of this mind, this divine, loving, creative force that has thought you into existence. That's how it is in the Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles, some of you study, it said, you are an idea held in the mind of God that has not left its source. You will never not be held in the mind of God. You are the Son. Charles Fillmore put it this way, what is the Son? The Son is the true spiritual self of every individual. The living Word, the living word. That's you. You're expressing the living God as you. And the more we listen for that word and absorb the word and express it outward, right? The more we are in the household, comfortable, free, out of fear, in love with life, in love with one another, more accepting of each other, more welcoming. Come to my house. I welcome you in, right? If you come to my house, I welcome you. Wouldn't you offer me a cup of coffee or tea or a beverage? Yes. That's the same as God. God is welcoming us into the household. And this is Jesus' way of teaching these things by using these analogies in words that people could understand, and the words still make sense today. Charles Fillmore said, "What is the Son of Man? That in us which discerns the difference between truth and error." That is the Son. The Christ consciousness, the Christ mind in us that discerns the difference between truth and error. Look out in the world. You'll see error thinking, and you'll see the creation that has come from the error thought. And then you'll see the truth, and it'll set you free. I was at the dollar store the other day. Used to learn so many things in the dollar store. A lot of my stories seem to circulate about the dollar store. So anyway, I was in the back of the store. I was looking for something in particular, and I heard the cashier in the front, cashier number one. There were two. Cashier number one is a woman, and she yelled out, cashier number two, whatever his name was, "Did you find a wallet anywhere?" He's like, "What?" I think he might have had a hearing loss. And she's like, "A wallet. Did anybody turn in a wallet?" And he's like, no, I didn't see any wallet. No, I didn't. Oh, boy, they'll never see that wallet. Someone's going to be enjoying that wallet. He made these comments, right? And she had the phone because someone's calling looking for their wallet. And I'm in the store, and I feel that person's pain. I immediately had such empathy. I thought, oh, my God, what could be worse? You're riding home, you're at home, oh my God, my wallet, it's not in my purse, it's gone. That feeling of panic, my identification, my money, my credit cards, right? You know what that would feel like, right? I'm like, where's the wallet? Where is the wallet? I'm walking up and down the aisles, I'm looking for my stuff, but I'm studying the floor. And in the front of the store, cashier number one says, "I don't see it anywhere. We've looked. Let me take your name and number in case it shows up." Well, what a lovely human being. What a lovely human being. Have you been on a call with anyone ever where you feel like they really heard you, that they care? Let me get the answer for you. Let me look that up. Versus somebody who's on the phone and doesn't give you any further information, says a simple no, sorry, good luck, click, right? We know the difference. One individual is accessing the word, the truth, the divine spirit is in cashier number one, as she said, "I will take your name and number. If it shows up, I'll call you back." So I'm still looking. I get my things, a few things I got. I went to the front of the store. Cashier number two is open. I walk into his line. There's about 2 or 3 people that came right behind me. Cashier number one was putting some things away. The door opens to the dollar store, and in comes a customer waving a wallet. And her eyes are bright. And she comes over to cashier number two, my cashier, and she goes, "Here it is." And he goes, "What?" I think he's just disconnected. He's just operating on another wavelength. She goes, "It's the wallet. I found it in the buggy outside, in the cart, in the shopping cart. And me and the people behind us were like jubilant, like we're just, my joyful heart is expanding and so happy. And cashier number 2 goes, well, I guess there are still some good people in the world today. And I couldn't contain myself anymore. I said, you better believe there are good people in the world today. We are good people. You are good people. I said, you know good people. I know good people. All of us know good people. The problem is that all we hear about in the news are good people who made bad choices. People who make bad decisions or who get that notoriety. People are finding wallets every day. They're not going to make the headlines. But you could just sense this joy, and cashier number 1 calls the number. They open the wallet. First, they check the name. Of course, it was this lady. I'll be right back. I'm turning around. And it was just this absolute oneness. And I kept thinking to myself, as I drove away, I thought to myself, the more we acknowledge this as our truth, the more that we act out our truth, the more it expands. It's okay to talk about truth and express your word. I'm reminded by Jesus in his teaching in Matthew. He said, he came to the disciples, remember in the garden, and found them sleeping. And he said to Peter, so you could not stay awake with me for 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right? We fall asleep. We forget. We forget our truth sometimes, don't we? We get caught up and enmeshed in the fear, in the worry, and we forget that there's a truth inside that we can access and speak it. And that's what I love so much about Unity. We have affirmative prayer. It's founded on the use of affirmative prayer. Affirmations. What is your truth? Remember my first question, what is your truth? I made little cards for you. On this side says, what is my truth? And on this side, I jotted down some of my truths. They may not sound the same as your truths. It's fine. You know why? God is speaking to us individually. Each and every one of us hear that prompting and that inner word from God. So I want to share with you, maybe Patti, could you pass these out? If you could take one or you can leave it, it's up to you. I just encourage you to contemplate your truth. These are some of the things that came up for me when I thought about answering the question, what is my truth? My truth is I am an expression of God in physical form. The Spirit of God lives within me, just as it does in cashier number 1 and cashier number 2. The Spirit of God lives within me and with all people. Divine intelligence reveals itself through my mind. I am able to access, therefore, wisdom, understanding, and guidance, and patience, right? And love and compassion. I'm able to access that because the Spirit of God lives within my mind. I am breathed and sustained by unconditional love. You think about that, how you're being breathed? You don't have to think about breathing. You are breathed by unconditional love. Every cell of my body is invigorated by God energy. Sit with that for a while. I accept my power to co-create with God. I welcome each day. I embrace life as goodness and opportunity. In a dollar store, in my home, in my workplace, in my car. I embrace life as goodness and opportunity. I release my fears into the omnipresence of God. I release them now, and I trust. I love that word, I trust. I stand in trust. I know that there is a purpose for all things, and all things work together for the highest good, and I trust. And I added to this one of my favorite quotes. We'll finish with this morning. It's Jeremiah 17. You probably have heard this. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. Confidence. They are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Soak it up. Take a long drink of the truth, for you deserve it. Amen. Have a good day.
Thank you, Maryann, for that nourishing message this holiday weekend. It's fabulous. Thank you very much. Let's see, what do we have now? Oh, now it's time for our prosperity practice. That's very good. Philip just said it's time to find our wallets. If you happen to still be watching online, we ask you to find your donation button on unityofpittsburgh.org/donate. And everyone here, if you can take your checks, your cash, your love, your light, and hold it in your hand as we recite our affirmative prosperity prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful and free. Indeed, we are. Okay, we're going to have a song while those tithes are collected, The Face of God. Okay, we're going to take 2 or 3 minutes to inform you of some upcoming events. And Beth Caldwell, who is our new trustee on our newly appointed board, would like to share that information with you.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. So excited to tell you about, by next week, we'll have the full rest of the year calendar printed and ready for you here in our lobby as well as online. So we had an events committee meeting yesterday. I'm just going to give you the events through September, so please jot these down. So our next event, July 16th, right after church, we're going to have smoothies and qigong with Julie Monkern. So please join us for that. And then Saturday, July 22nd, we'll be at the home of Maryann for our church barbecue with special music from David Hawkins. Please see Maryann to register for that. We have a fundraiser, so the qigong and the next few that I'll be talking to you about are the fundraisers. So what that means is that every ticket that we sell, 100% of that money goes to the church. So even if it's not something you're interested or you're not available to do that day, please, I was just thinking, what if we all invited 3 friends or 4 friends? How much money could we raise and boost that thermometer that red and that thermometer just a little bit higher. So August the 12th is Yes You Can Write a Book, taught by a local author who I hear is very engaging. Oh, sorry, that might be a typo. It's August 12th. We'll fix that. It's August 12th, and it's correct on the website. And then Sunday, August 20th, Kenna Raymond, another one of our board members, will be teaching Edgar Casey's Western Yoga for All. That is for all ages and all abilities. So, and then we're going to have a Reiki share. Those of you who are interested in Reiki, we'll have a Reiki share. So if you're Reiki certified, you're welcome. If you don't know anything about Reiki, you're welcome. That's going to be on Saturday, September 23rd, right here at 1:00 p.m. And remember that all of the money raised from the tickets is 100% donated to the church. So please tell your friends, and you can find all the details at unityofpittsburgh.org right on the homepage, and there's a page that says events. So I hope to see you at a lot of these events. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So mark those dates down on your calendar and come have some fun. So that's our service for today. It was great having you all here and sharing your energies. Let's close and rise as we sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. Just please stand. And now let us pray the closing prayer for protection, guys. The light of God surrounds me. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The power of God protects me. I am power. The presence of God watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you all for being here. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.